I'm announcing a national demonstration to stop privatization of the Postal Service on April 24th, Thursday, 2014. Perhaps some of you have the leaflets on your seat. It doesn't tell you when, but it's political, and that's what counts at the moment. And it says Stop Staples. It's against Staples, who, as we know, is closing 225 stores, and they want to sell postal wares in their stores. And so far, they're succeeding, but it can be stopped. In the face of relentless attacks from Congress, corporations, and postal managements, the four postal unions have created a fight-back coalition with the aim of saving the People's Post Office. Among the demands are protect and restore service standards and mail processing facilities. As we know, the mail service has deteriorated in this country over, I would say, the last 2 years. Stuff that, I only get mail 3 times a week now. I don't know, there's always what term junk mail, or they term bulk business mail, and I don't get any more junk mail. I don't know why, and I used to get a ton of it, and I didn't put in that thing to stop it. So, I'm letting you know. Maintain full-time, full-service public post offices in every community. The oppose the subcontracting of work and privatization of services. The Postal Service tried to privatize the trucking, the trucking industry of the Postal Service, and they have not succeeded. It was grieved by the union, and the union won. The drivers would have had to have taken other positions in the Postal Service, and that's not happening. So through struggle and the grievance procedure, that has been set back by the against the Postal Service. Unite, some of the other demands, unite with other labor unions in defense of the rights of postal workers, encourage joint efforts of one union on the local level, and build an alliance with the American people in defense of the public post office. Whose post office? Our post office. It's not the corporation's post office. The Postal Service has been with us. When we were all growing up, the Postal Service was like sacrosanct. It supported itself through sales of stamps, and other wares that they had, and it wasn't until after the Postal Reorganization Act in 1970 when they decided that they could make a profit. So what did they do? They created a phony crisis by funding the health benefits for 75 years. That is stopped. Okay, but they were in debt by $5 billion. And for years, the Postal Service, before was sustaining itself through sales of stamps, etc. Okay. The first demo of this long-needed unity will happen on Thursday, April 24th. It's a Thursday. So I hope we can mobilize people to go down on a weekday. It is in Washington, but it's important. It's the first demo of this long-needed unity, and it's a day of action to stop Staples, called by the American Postal Workers Union, which is the largest union, and endorsed by the Mail Handlers Union and the letter carriers. The Postal Service is testing pilot programs, putting postal retail services in Staples stores, and staffing them with low-wage workers. The president of the APWU, Mark Diamondstein, insisted on uniformed postal workers to work in these stores. Nationwide demos versus Staples are taking place At the same time, Staples is closing 225 stores whose owners are shifting their business further online. As WW contributing editor Fred Goldstein wrote, Staples cutbacks are aimed at getting rid of workers and store facilities as it competes with Amazon and Office Max for higher profits. Handing over public postal services to a private company that can close stores with no public input is bad for both staple and postal workers and in their respective communities. An injury to one is an injury to all. If you really think about it, what happens if a store closes and there's a postal worker, a uniformed postal worker, who's, what happens to that person? What happens to that worker? Okay, I mean, the legal ramifications, and also, there is room to struggle. Okay. Expanding the struggle to the community will concretize the effort to win. Okay, when the community and labor unite, it wins. It won back the right for the Chelsea post office to remain open. With the union providing a lot of the logistics, and with CLUJA, the organization, the Community and Labor United for Postal Jobs and Services, there was a meeting last April that there were 200 people attended with the postal management there. They were from the regional, from Springfield, Massachusetts, and there was so much anger from people, and obviously justifiable, against the Postal Service. And there were only two, bureaucrats there, and they listened, and and they spewed their bullshit, really. I mean, it was unbelievable. It was so great to hear. I mean, everybody spoke their piece, and it was that's exactly what we need, is the community and labor to unite, to, in every aspect of what we're doing. Also, the president of the APWU is speaking tonight. In fact, at the Labor Notes Conference in Chicago, along with the Chicago Teachers Union president, to talk about, I guess, Staples, and also the Chicago Teachers Union president, to talk about the struggle in Chicago with the Teachers Union. Okay, I finish with, if postal workers want community support, people power assemblies are necessary to be formed and developed to support struggles for higher wages, for better education, and fighting against racism, sexism, and anti-gay bigotry. In turn, community members will fight alongside of postal workers against privatization, because the People's Post Office benefits our class. So all out, April 24th, and it's our postal service, the Workers' Postal Service.